Sup, Brohemians? Welcome back to How the Brother Side Lives. I'm one of them, Tucker.
This is a really good intro. I'm really glad we're making up for forgetting last week with I'm one of them. I'm also the other one of them, Sam.
Let's start what we did last night.
What did you do last night, Tucker?
Well, we did something together last night.
Oh my gosh, we totally did. I thought you were talking about the dance recital. Our
No.
sisters had a dance recital. We saw, let's say it together, across the
Spider-Man,
spider. What the frick?
Spider-Man-verse.
You.
The Spider-Man one.
Alright, fine.
Spi-
We saw Pepper.
We saw Spider-Man across Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man
we saw
across
an
the
early showing of
Spider-Verse.
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Nope.
And that one was kind of crazy.
Listen.
Like, it was a little out there, I think.
Stop making this joke because this is the best movie I've ever seen.
No, I think it was a little out there for me because there at one point the pig one.
Mm-hmm.
At one point the pig one and the car one. Like the pig was riding the car one and that felt weird because like that car's a person. Like with a name. So it feels weird anytime someone's inside of Peter Park's car.
You do realize he did like load up with like 4 guys one time, right?
Yeah, no, and that feels very wrong to me. To me, it feels wrong to me as a person.
No, it's like I tried to think of anything with sentient cars where people get in them and I can't. It's like
Herbie fully loaded.
It's like Blaze
Chitty
and the
Bang
Monster
Bang.
Machines.
Knight Rider's not.
Knight Rider's kind of living.
No, because Knight Rider.
Oh, he's a robot though.
Knight Rider's like a robot car.
Knight Rider's like a robot car.
Other than that, it was pretty good. It was weird. Well, it was weird because they started showing the Bully Maguire scene. But then it wasn't even Bully Maguire.
I keep thinking you're being honest.
It was just a big picture of Seth Rogen. Like it was Seth Rogen's face and his laugh going along with it.
I was about to say, it was his face and the whole JPEG moved up and down as it just went, and that was it.
His mouth moved South Park style, in which they just put a picture of his face on there and then like cut his mouth bottom half and like cut it, and so it just like went up. Like his lips weren't moving.
It wasn't Seth Rogen's voice either.
No, it was someone doing an impersonation.
It was me.
Seth Rogen's laugh. It was Sam doing.
It was I sat there and I went, and they said that sounds just like
wow,
him.
That's actually very good. Like, thank you.
Okay, but for real this time, Across the Spider-Verse is amazing.
Yeah, it was mostly fine, except
what do you mean?
Except for like that one part. Except for that one part where Spider-Gwen just has a whole dance recital in the middle that we have to sit.
Why are you still lying about things? I need you to be honest with me.
Because she has those ballet slippers. And you think, like, why does she have ballet slippers on? And it's because this movie's 5 hours long. And an hour and a half of it is just her dancing.
Nope.
With no breaks. There's no cuts to anything else.
Can you please?
It's just her dancing like a ballerina.
Shut your drunk mouth. And stop speaking ill of my new favorite movie.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It
was mostly fine. Except for the part where Spider-Punk kept cutting between different newspapers. And one of them was communist propaganda. Like, that one felt like it was pushing an envelope that didn't need to be pushed in America in 2023.
It was just like that, and then one that just said 9/11 inside job?
Yeah, it was that, then a picture of George Bush underneath it. And I got I was like, you're English. Like, you're not even American, so that's a lot of American and Russian propaganda that you have on your thing.
So anyone who is nervous about spoilers for Across the Spider-Verse, because it did come out recently, everything we just said is false.
Well, yeah, it was mostly false, except for the part where there's like just 10 minutes of Peter B. Parker trying to change a diaper, but he doesn't know how. Like, he usually makes MJ do it, but it's his turn to watch the baby, and he doesn't know how to change a diaper. So he asks Seth Rogen's face to come help him, and Seth Rogen doesn't know how to change a diaper either. He's just a kid.
He also doesn't have hands.
And Seth Rogen's just a floating face. So he's like, hey, Peter, this was a bad plan.
Peter, there's like 9 other people.
There's a lot of other men.
Spider people.
There's a lot of other people here with hands. Ask one of them. I'm just a
who are parents, I think. I think there's other spider people who are parents, probably.
Yeah, the car one.
Know. Oh, the car one.
The car one has kids.
Do you want to know?
They're bumper cars.
Do you want to know how 2 cars have a baby? They drive on the intercourse.
That's getting cut out of this episode.
No,
Sam, you can't make jokes like that.
I can.
No, you can't.
What?
If anyone from church listens to this, we're gonna die.
What is our age?
Sam, Sam, we have to. This isn't in the podcast. This is not in the podcast. We cannot do that. We can't make sex jokes. We can't say bad words. and we're not gonna get uber political, but we will make jokes about 9/11 being an inside job.
Can we actually talk about Spider-Man now?
Yeah, we need to.
That movie was amazing.
Yeah, it was mostly fine, except for that one part.
Can I leave?
Except for that one part where Miles also has a dance recital in the middle, and you're probably thinking like, I didn't know Miles could dance. That's like actually the big problem is that he can't. And so an hour and a half of this 5 hour long movie, 3 hours of it are just dancing, but only an hour and a half of it's good. The other hour and a half of him is just trying to crump. He's trying to crump to Childish Gambino, which is ironic, actually.
Thanks for listening to How the Brother Side Lives. An hour of just fake spoilers about the new Spider-Man
But one of
movie.
them's real.
But one of them's real. Han Solo dies.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Han Solo dies.
Han Solo dies.
Let's talk about the movie.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was mostly fine, except for there was the one bit where shoot, what happened? The girl on the motorcycle was actually
Spider-Woman.
just Evil Knievel. But like a different universe is Evil Knievel. But they were like, who's Spider-Woman? And they're like, it's Ava Knievel. Like, it's slightly different.
I just don't want to validate you on any of this. Because you're just going to keep going.
I gotta think of like 2 more good ones.
No, you don't. You
But-
can. And hear me out. Stop.
Okay, let's stop.
We're not going to talk about any actual spoilers.
We're not.
Because as of when this comes out, it will have just been the end of opening weekend. And
Yep.
that's not fair. I'm trying to pick my words very carefully here. The animation.
Yeah, the animation was good for the most part. Except for the scene when they first show up in the Spider-Man thing, and Spider-Man 2099 insists on having a fiesta for all the Spider-Men.
And bordering racism.
And bored, which you're like we get his name's Miguel, but like
so close right now.
But like, no, it's not because he talks about himself being Mexican.
Does he?
Well, I think so.
In the movie,
He
does?
speaks Spanish.
Okay, I can too. That doesn't make me.
We're gonna take the last minute and a half. Give me another chance at it. Give me another crack at it. You can start over. Is it better if I say Peter B wanting everyone to have this fiesta for Spider-Man 2099?
Hi, we're 8 minutes in, and we're gonna start over.
No, we're not.
Fun intro music.
No, we're not. We're
What
keeping
are we?
a lot of my bits. I thought really hard on them.
Welcome to How the Brother Side Lives. I promise we're not.
Yeah, the
usually...
movie was mostly fine last night, except for the Spot guy. Like he was actually the big twist ending of the movie is that he's a Dalmatian from the movie 101 Dalmatians, and he's the dad of all the Dalmatians. Like, where do you think they had 101 Dalmatians? Where do you think they came from? They came from Spots, which is also his name.
I'm sorry to anyone who saw on Instagram and finally thought, you know what? Those two O'Rourke brothers have been really annoying about posting about this on Instagram. I'll listen to one. And then the first 10 minutes are just bad jokes about spoilers for a movie that just came out.
They're very good, actually, I think.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
No, I actually think they're very good.
Hold on, okay, try again.
Let me think about one more good one.
No, you just say one of the ones before, because those were the ones that were funny. We need to make sure you do one of the funny ones. Say it again.
No, but I want a new funny one.
No, you can't.
It was mostly fine, except that there's a whole 10-minute bit in which the Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four in the paper bag is just yelling.
Please, bombastic
Bagman is just yelling at John Krasinski for not being good enough, and he's making John Krasinski cry in a corner, and that felt unnecessary because old J.K. didn't really stand a chance because they only put him in that movie for 5 minutes. And so, he's not even a member of the Fantastic Four, so why yell?
He
Why
got turned
does
into
he get?
spaghetti in
Why
Multiverse
does
of
he
Madness.
get the authority to yell at him for being bad? You know?
Wait, can we hold on? Can we actually talk about the fact that I felt nothing while watching Multiverse of Madness, except I almost cried when John Krasinski got turned into spaghetti?
I didn't. Is your fly down?
Don't talk about this on our audio podcast.
No, is your fly down?
I
For reals though. Is your
my
fly down?
whole. I've just. I've been wearing these pants for 7 hours, Tucker. I didn't want to change.
What were we talking about? I didn't almost cry. I did. Well, okay. Let me take that back. I did almost cry, but it was just because I was so mad.
Well, because he starts like going, and then he's like, huh, and then just like lets out a wail of like agony, and I was like, no. Like I genuinely felt very sad in that moment.
The most
And then everybody else died, and then I went, oh right, this is a bad movie.
as angry as I was, that freaking the scene of her messing up Black Bolt is kind of good.
Mm.
Like that.
Well, everybody told me about that when I was going into it, so I was expecting it a lot more graphic than it was.
It was for me. His head does go into itself.
Yes, but I was expecting people were like, he screams and then his head explodes. I was expecting like full like breaks and like
Yeah.
pieces fly. So when it just sort of like popped and then deflated, I was like, that makes more sense. Still like kind of gross.
You know what
but
else
now
popped and deflated that felt really weird in this movie was the balloon Spider-Man.
That's
Like
not
that
true.
was very sad. I actually did shed a tear at that part because it was very Doofenshmirtz level Finding Balloony kind of moment where Miles was like, "It's the Spider-Man of my universe, the balloon Spider-Man," and he like goes to catch him, and then uh Green Goblin comes in and pokes it with his glider, but not like an aggressive poke like you may think. He gets right up behind it and it goes beep.
And then it goes, Godspeed, Spider-Man, and then flies away. We can rule this city together. It was a really good movie, and I highly recommend seeing it. It is my new favorite movie. Okay.
Yeah, it was mostly
I'm gonna stop
fine.
you
No,
right
it was
there.
mostly
No,
fine.
let me stop
except
you
for the
right there.
part
Hey, shut
where
your
when the
stupid
computer
mouth.
program girl
Shut your stupid mouth.
just rickrolled us
Shut
all
your
in the
stupid
theater,
mouth.
and
I'm
she
gonna
played
shift
the
gears
whole
slightly.
song.
I'm gonna shift gears slightly.
Okay, we can. Yeah. Okay, keep going.
So I'm shifting gears slightly. Ready?
Yeah. We need a notepad
For why?
to make notes
For why?
for the podcast.
So my gear shift is I work at a movie theater now, and
Are you in a movie theater Discord?
no, I'm trying to turn off the notification noise.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't put my earbuds in.
So I work in a movie theater now, and
Oh, that's so much better.
avoiding spoilers in a movie theater is hard and scary. You idiot. Tucker just punched something off the table next to him by accident. Anyway, avoiding spoilers is hard, but that's not the point of this story. This is something that happened tonight, and this is the first you're going to hear about it.
Okay.
So I was working podium tonight, which means I stand in the at the front door and I scan people's tickets and say like, "You're in this theater, it's over there," that sort of a thing.
You should just lie one time.
I'm so nervous every time that I'll like point in a direction. I was like, did I look at the wrong number? And they'll like walk back through the like lobby and just like shake their head disapprovingly. But so I was standing there.
But like for real, you should just lie sometimes so that some kid thinks they're going to see the Little Mermaid, but instead they're seeing Cocaine Bear.
I kept getting nervous because like Boogeyman and was playing alongside a lot of things, and so I was very nervous that I'd be like, "Yep, you're in this theater, it's over there," and then they'll like walk in there and it's like Boogeyman.
I think they'd figure it out pretty quick though.
Pretty quick, but I do have I have two stories
not.
from tonight, so I direct the people, and so I'm standing there just like waiting for the next person to come up, and these guys like walk in and walk past me, which is not uncommon because the only thing I'm there to do is point. You're going in that direction. So if you know the layout already, you don't need to talk to me if you know how to read the ticket and know where to go. So this guy walks in and then they're like standing there and then I'm like I sort of forget and then all of a sudden one of them is standing like behind the counter with me and he just reaches over and grabs the little scan gun that I use. He like starts reaching for it and so like neither of us talked through this whole interaction. So like I start reaching for it and he had like a card sticking out of his mouth.
He's a magician. Was
not
it your
a playing card? Not a playing card.
Oh.
It's like
like a swipe card.
Well, it's one of our. I later learned it was one of our name tags. Apparently, he's somebody who works there, but I didn't know this at the time. I just saw a card, like a credit card, sort of like that kind of library card, that material hanging out of his mouth. And so I start reaching, and he keeps reaching, and he grabs it before me, and then just slowly shakes his head, and then pulls it, scans his 2 tickets, sets it back, and walks away. And I was so confused on what was happening.
They're all probably like, yeah, that's just Kevin being Kevin.
Because my mentality was this very strange man walked up, like went to grab this from me, and when I tried to help him, he just slowly shook his head, took it from me, scan, walk away. It was so strange. It made yeah, it like I was weird.
What if he wasn't a man?
I say like, hey, do you see that guy over there? And people are like, what guy? And I'm like, he's sort of like a bigger guy. He like has the card sticking out of his mouth. That fits the description of a man who died 30 years ago. Whoa! And he
Whoa!
was like,
What if? But
ghost.
also, what if it was an alien in disguise, and he's like, "You're mortal," because aliens are immortal, of course.
Of course.
He's like, "Your mortal technology is nothing for me. I can do this myself." But he went in as disguised as a man who works there. But also, aliens have weird mouths, which is why the card was in his mouth, so you couldn't see.
I have no idea. All I do know is we had somebody come out of one of the theaters and say like, "Hey, the volume's really low in there. If you could like do something about that." And we were like, "Oh, okay." Because we
Was
got a
it
lot of
our
people.
father?
No, but we get a lot of people who come out of like theaters and are like, "It's too hot in there. It's too cold in there," and we can make like
Are
slight.
you for realsies? People should deal.
It's like stuff like that. But like there was one where somebody came out and we left the cleaning lights on. So they're like, "Hey, the movie started and the lights are still up. Can you fix that?" And like, yeah. So it makes sense.
That's
So
fair. You guys messed up on that one.
exactly. So we thought, oh, maybe we messed up on this one again. So we like ring the manager on our walkie-talkie and we're like, hey, it's really quiet in there apparently. Is there anything you can do? And they're like, well, check it out. And so we looked to see what movie it was, and it was called
Shoot.
it was called
A Quiet Place.
Suga D Day, Suga D Day. It turns out it's like a I think some like documentary or like something about a K-pop artist called D Day, and we later realized so and then a few minutes after the first girl comes out, another girl comes out. It's like, hey, it's really quiet in there. When we all cheer, we're missing things. And I was like, when you do what? Okay. And so we ring the manager again. They're like, people are still saying it's quiet in there. A third person came out a few minutes later and was like, it's really quiet in there. And so I finally was like, I went inside. It was about as loud as a normal movie was. But as I was standing there, like, it's a Korean pop star. So I hear him say something in Korean, and then all of the girls in the audience started cheering. It was so weird.
Maybe he's an alien.
I have
And
no
everyone,
idea.
or
You really hopped up on aliens
well,
tonight.
this is what I think about boy bands in general.
Hmm.
I think they're all secret cult leaders, and I mean that. And I think that their message and
And
their deal in life. What's up?
if I may, I'm not trying to be that guy, but especially K-pop boy bands. Have you ever heard of the BTS Army?
I wasn't gonna say that, so we didn't sound like annoying bad people.
No, no, no. Have you heard of the BTS Army?
Yes.
The people who like the BTS Army are weird. I'm friends with one of
Oh.
them, so I'm allowed to say it.
No, that's not how that works.
They're weird.
A
Like
lot
they
of people are gonna
really
boycott us
like it.
now.
What people, Tucker? Like 6 people listen to this at this point.
That's fair. I'm not even gonna keep my joke going.
Okay.
You ruined it.
Do you want to read a Reddit story and trying to get this
My
back on
laptop's so
track?
far away.
If anyone hasn't noticed, we're recording this at like 11 o'clock at night, and so both of us are kind of out of it.
10:55.
Okay, I'm rounding up for the viewer. It's like 11 o'clock almost, and so we're both very out of it. I just got done working for like 6 hours, and Tucker got done pulling a curtain at a dance recital. So this was the only
so long.
this was the only time we could do it, and boy howdy, is this going to be an interesting episode.
Okay. This is Am I Delightfully Bonkers. All of them are Am I Delightfully Bonkers until the last one.
These ones are
And
my
the last
favorite.
one is very good.
These ones are my favorite.
Out of my family, I am the most well off. I would love to say that I worked hard and earned. Oh, wait a minute. I meant to get rid of the sad things out of here. Here's the thing. Either way,
Just leave
this
the
person
sad.
has a lot
Leave
of
it
money.
in.
No, this person has a lot of money.
Oh.
I bought a house on the beach in a vacation area where there are lots of old retired people and Airbnbs. It
Nice.
is more than a house. It is more house than I need, but I love it there.
Mm.
My family comes out to visit me every once in a while and they stay with me. But the thing is that while I enjoy their visits, they expect me to pay for everything. They go through my fridge, pantry, freezer, and liquor cabinet, and they replace nothing. So lately, I've been making sure that there is very little in the house before their visits, just the basics. They think I'm being bonkers for not having anything for guests in the house. I know I'm being petty by not even having beer in the fridge, but honestly, I don't think I'm the bonkers one.
I mean, is that it? Because I don't want to butt in if you're not done.
I'm done, but don't talk about your butt.
It's like, so whenever we go on vacation to visit family for like an extended period of time, we'll usually bring like snacks.
But also, our parents buy meals. Like we buy meals when we get there. We don't pack meals.
Yeah, we bring snacks and then we'll like all pitch in to get pizza and like we'll all pitch in on groceries, don't we?
I think how our vacations work is that each one person's required for a night, or is responsible, not required, responsible for a night.
Uh-huh. So it's just like I get the frustration of like I shouldn't have to buy everything in this house. Like, but also shut up. Like it's your family and you're so well off.
Well, yeah, but
You
also
left out a lot, so I'm sort of filling in my own gaps. But this guy seems like a snobby rich guy who's like, yeah, I'm pretty cool, but also I'm not paying for any of your stuff. And that just
no.
doesn't
That's I
feel
will say
very epic to me.
that's not the thing. He got his money through unfortunate circumstances.
Did
But I don't want to
someone
be too depressing.
pass away?
Yeah, Sam. That's how. So good work making it sad. Her husband died at his workplace because of negligence, and she got a huge settlement from it. And now she's rich. So good job making it depresso.
Listen, that's very sad. And I'm sad whenever a loved one dies for anyone. But it also kind of makes me like a little more frustrated at that person because I'm like, you didn't. It's not like I had to work 9 hours at
Yeah,
my
but also
job to
you
get
have to.
this money.
But it's also worth. Now this person has to adjust to living alone without the extra money from that because this person is a
Yes.
teacher and that person was an engineer.
That teaching doesn't do you a lot of money.
So they have to adjust on living just once. So it's possible they're just saving a lot of it, and they're like, "Yes, I may be rich at the moment, but even if she got a huge settlement from it, it probably is not going to last her forever."
I know, but at the same time, like, then tell your family that and like ask. It this I agree. Like, yes, saving is smart, and like asking your family to chip in every now and then is not wrong. But at the same time, it's sort of like you were just like, "Hey, you guys should come visit me. I love having you here. You, how dare you eat what I have?"
She just says they come to visit from time to time. I think every once in a while.
But still, like, if they visit, just say like, "Hey, I'm really trying to save money," or "I really don't."
Okay, but also if I invite you one day to come to my house
Yes.
and you expect me to pay for everything, I'll kick you out.
If it's for one day and you invite me,
If it's for
this is
one,
okay.
Sam, we're
This is
most likely
actually
going to live in
something
separate states one day.
I know. This is actually something that I hear a lot when I like listen to my own videos talking about delightfully bonkers people. Is a lot of like splitting costs and stuff like that. So if you ask me to split the cost, I will never think that that's wrong. But if you don't ask me, I will like throw in one like, "Hey, how much do I owe you?" And if you say nothing, I will immediately, "All right."
That and but also there also is a point of going. You guys get to come visit me. It's a free vacation spot. You don't have to pay for a place to stay. Don't also then expect you're getting free meals and everything from it.
But I'm saying like if it's something where like let's work up to it. You ask me, we live in the same state at different houses. You're like, "Come have dinner with me." I go there expecting to pay nothing unless you ask me to.
No, if I say come have dinner with me, it means we're both paying for our own meals, but we're meeting up together to have a conversation.
If you're
If
like
I ask
inviting
my
me to your
buddy, if I
house,
ask a friend for lunch,
if
that
you're
doesn't mean I'm paying for their lunch.
going out for dinner, yeah, we're both buying our own stuff. But if you're like, "Come to my house and have dinner with me,"
Oh,
I
then
don't
I will make it.
exactly. I expect you to make it. I don't expect
Or
to
more likely I'll get pizza.
or you get pizza, and if you get pizza, I'll say like, "Hey, how much do you want? Like, do I owe you
And I'll
anything?"
say nothing. I got it for my child and my wife.
And so if you
My multiple wives, actually.
no,
Life gets off the
listen,
rails for me in my late
this
20s.
episode is already terrible. Don't bring in multiple wives, please.
We can't forget to edit out the stuff at the beginning that we have to edit out. We had a very real conversation. It's half an hour long.
It's gonna so very interesting, all sorts of things. But like if you say like come visit me for a week, I'll probably bring like
And then you will be expected to pay for your own meals.
I'll probably bring like the things I'll bring with me are like snacks and like breakfast stuff. Like we like Pop Tarts. And then if you ask me to pay for anything, I will. But like
You and I are so very different.
if if I'm asked to, I will happily. And every now and then I'll offer if I think about it. But if you don't ask me, I don't think I need to because you didn't tell me I should. Like if you right now I'm taking this as if I ever visit you, you would like me to pay you, and that's understandable, and I'll do it happily. But if like I say this because there's a lot of times I'll like cover a friend's meal. And I'm like, I'm doing this nice thing for my friend. And then they're like annoyingly insistent about paying me back. And the way our dad put it, our lovely father, is don't steal my opportunity to do something kind for you.
Yeah.
So I want to help you. If you want to help me on the scale of like letting me lodge and giving me food for a weekend, that's amazing. I'll offer because that's a lot. But if you're like, no, I want to do this for you, I don't want to try too hard to pay you back. Because if you're just trying to do something nice for me, and I don't want to take that.
I know. I am offering for you to come visit so we can hang out, but I'm not also offering. I mean, it's not fully free for you. I'm not
And
saying
that's
please
fine.
come down to my house so I can pay for your food.
And listen, that's fine, and I get that. But at the same time, like I never want to assume that because maybe this person's like, "Ah, I really want to just like help somebody out.
You're taking this, to what our father said, to a very big extreme that it doesn't need to be
Again,
taken to.
listen, like I said before, I'll offer. I'll throw out an offer every now and then, like, hey, you sure you don't want me to cover some of this? And if you say no, I'm gonna stop asking.
Now, this is what you say, I got this one, boss. I want you
Is
to
that
say, I
is it
got this one, B-man,
to you or to everyone?
to everyone. And then when they say, what's the B stand for? You say, boss man. And the boss is you.
Mm. But can I pick a different like B
Nope.
word every time? So it's like, what up, B man? And they're like, what does
What
the
does
B
B
stand
stand
for?
for?
B. And then they just sprout wings and they're like,
What
oh,
does
I
B
really
stand
want
for?
to
And you're like,
pollinate.
oh, B actually stands for the bacon man. That's you.
It's you, bacon man.
For the bacon man.
Uh-oh, bacon man.
So what's the B? Hey, what's the B stand for?
There's a B. Epic Vine reference in 2023. We're super cool and super relevant. There's been a lot of awkward silences in this episode, I've realized. Oh, so many
Yeah, but it's
times.
mostly because you won't acknowledge the funny things I say.
It was funny the first
The
time,
B
and
joke
then
wasn't funny, Sam.
I know.
My jokes are hilarious.
But notice how I ran away from it immediately. You were like, Sam really doesn't seem to be laughing at the Spider-Man bit. I should probably say it
everyone else.
again.
I think everyone. I heard them. They were laughing. They were guffawing.
Okay.
Tim's
Hey,
still on the floor.
hey, bro, watch this epic YouTuber moment. Comment down below if you laughed at Tucker's dumb Spider-Man jokes.
If you ever say that again, I will kick you off this podcast and replace you with the dolphin.
Dolphin can't even talk.
That's a good point. I was saying it's a good point to the dolphin.
I think Tucker's going crazy. Please stop that. I don't want. Stop.
I'm
Please.
just trying to put him. Shoot.
Can we just pick another delightfully bonkers? Because I think we've talked all we can about this one.
I'm trying to make him bounce. Okay.
There, that's good enough.
I delightfully bonkers for promising my nephew a Lego Ninja Temple while not knowing it cost $700 and then getting him a much cheaper ninja set. Now you may be thinking, what's the cheaper ninja set? Just keep that in mind. Let me finish reading, but keep that in mind.
Is it the Destiny's Bounty?
No, you idiot. It was a temple.
No. Is the Destiny's Bounty the cheaper one?
Just wait. My nephew is 10 and he's really into Lego ninjas.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the name. They're just ninjas.
It's Ninjago.
About 2 months ago, I asked him what he wanted for his birthday today. And he said he wanted something about a Lego Ninja Temple. I figured it would most be $20, so I said sure, I'd definitely get it for him. He texted me a week later with an actual name, and this thing was well over $700 with tax on Amazon.
Yeah.
I have a great job in machine part sales, but I couldn't justify spending that, so I got him a toy ninja playset with plastic weapons, complete with like a mask, which I thought was cool. What I guess I didn't realize was that he has 2 months to tell his friends he was getting his set, so he was really disappointed today. My sister flipped out on me and said maybe I should have communicated with her about not being able to buy the set. I said I had no idea it was $700, and she said she would have been equally as upset had I bought him the $700 set. I said I felt like I was in a no-win. She said,
Yeah.
no, you put yourself in a no-win by not talking with me so I could do some expectation management. And why didn't you get him even a small Lego? Did you buy that ninja set at a truck stop? I said, actually did, because I ran out of time this week. She said everything about this makes me embarrassed to be your brother and angry for my son.
Okay. So he was like,
She said everything about this makes me embarrassed to be your brother. That in and of itself is incorrect. And she's also
Yes.
angry for herself.
It's really so he went to his nephew and he was like, hey there kid, what do you want for your birthday? And this kid, well, I don't even know if it was a kid. If
He's 10.
He's 10. Okay, so the 10-year-old was like, I really want the Lego Ninja Temple. And he was like, okay, I think I could get that for you. And then realized, whoa, that's a lot of money. I'm just not going to get him a Lego.
But he's not. That means that he's not a Lego person. If he doesn't even
People,
know,
not Lego people, are idiots.
but like he doesn't know what it's called.
But listen, honestly,
He
I don't know the name of a lot of
example
Legos.
2. No, but he has no Ninjago.
Oh yeah. If you're even remotely a Lego person, you know all about that jump up, kick back, whip around and spin.
Oh my gosh, that's how that song went.
Did you know that there's a
Jump back,
moment
kick back, flip around and
Did
spin.
you know that
We're
there's a
gonna
moment
do this
we're going to
something.
jump back, do it
Oh,
again.
that's right.
Tucker, Ninja Go.
Ninjago.
It's one of the best theme songs ever.
Come on, let's go.
Nope, you are making me so angry right now. There's actually a moment in one of the newer seasons where they're trying to learn some new master ninja art or whatever, and the way you do it is you have to leap into the air and then kick out your foot and then flip around and then use spin jitsu. And one of the characters goes, "Wait, so are you telling me we need to jump up, kick back, flip around, and spin?" And that's in the show, and that made me so happy. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the lyrics. I can't remember the rest of
It's it's such a banger. If you didn't watch Ninjago as a kid, I'm genuinely very sad for you. It's so good. Well, it started really good. It fell off a little. It fell off a little. Maybe I also just got older. Maybe it was a mixture of the two, but it definitely fell off.
it. Do you remember any of the verses?
No, because the verses weren't like played on the show.
They weren't. Was it? It wasn't just jump back, kick back, was it?
The the actual theme song, I believe, starts with like, gotta jump up, kick back, whip around and spin. We're gonna jump back, do it again. Ninja, go! Ninja, go! And then there was like some ending like line that I don't remember. I really hope everybody who's listening to this watched Ninjago for their sake and for the fact that this is a terrible conversation if they haven't. Um so this dad, this uncle
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about Legos.
Yeah,
Stop!
straight into it.
Copyright!
No, we're good.
Stop!
We get 30 seconds.
Um I don't even. You can't hear it. It's not showing up on the.
Good.
Anyway.
That means we're good then. Cole.
Yeah. And Nia. What?
I thought. What do you think that last line is?
I didn't hear it.
Sorry, everyone at home. It's after the. Okay, it's after this part.
Okay. Together we can win.
No, and I thought that's what it said too.
What does it say?
This song
Uh huh.
is called The Weekend Whip. And so he says, do the weekend whip. And that's what he says there.
Oh no.
Come on, and do the weekend whip.
That's bonkers. So wait, that song
This group is the Fold is delightfully bonkers.
is that the Fold? Is that
The
the name of
band
the
is
band?
called The Fold.
Do you remember Dareth,
The Brown Ninja.
the Brown Ninja?
Surprise.
No, that's the Fusion Ninja. The people of TikTok, at least what I see on occasion, really like Dareth. Dareth has kind of become like
side of TikTok.
well, I get it like once a month. It's like one TikTok about Dareth, and it's things similar to the Chuck Norris jokes. So it's things where it's like, whenever Dareth jumps, he doesn't leap; he pushes the earth away. It's like things like that. What are you googling now?
I just want to find Darren's TikToks.
Yeah. Let's get back to the question at hand, though. I I don't think he's delightfully bonkers. I think he's delightfully ignorant.
Aww.
He just like he doesn't know
That's
anything about
ignorant.
Legos, and so he was just like Lego ninjas and ninja
I
ninjas
feel
are
bad for
okay.
him in this scenario because he didn't know better.
I would also say personally, I'm not a guy who like cares about days. And so like if you come up to me on my birthday and you're like, "I'm sorry, dude, I just ran out of time. I'll have a gift for you soon." That is way better for me than you being like, "I ran out of time, so here's a thing I bought at a truck stop."
Yeah, but he thought through the truck stop thing.
At least he did, but still, it's like, come to me on my birthday and say like, hey man, that's kind of expensive. Is there any chance you would like a different Lego? Like, he could have tried
Yeah.
different things.
Well, that was when he was supposed to talk to the mother,
That's true.
but he didn't.
That's why you talk to the mother.
Always talk to the mother.
Always talk to your mother. Mother's Day happened recently. Ish. Go tell your mom you love them, because
Let's
moms
go to the next.
deserve
Nope,
it.
we're done. Am I delightfully bonkers for getting a matching tattoo to my son? I am not a fan of tattoos, only because they're so ubiquitous now. Good vocab word.
Ooh.
When I was a kid, tattoos were rare and rebellious. Nowadays, they're everywhere, and that's fine. People can decorate themselves however they want. But, for example, my grandfather had tattoos. His were from when he was in the military and were a memorial to his friends. My son has wanted a tattoo since he was little, so I told him that was okay, but to really consider whatever he got and have it be at least a little meaningful and not just do it to be cool. I told him if he got something and it had no special meaning, I would get the exact same one. I guess he thought it was an empty threat because he got a tribal armband tattoo. I asked him about it, and he said it just looked cool. Okay, well, I have a disposable income and high pain tolerance. Now we have matching tattoos, and he no longer wants to show his off.
You have a tattoo.
As someone who has a tattoo, I don't like the idea of phrasing it as I can decorate myself however I want. Because that feels weird. I'm not a Christmas tree.
Uh-huh.
I'm a person.
But yours has wonderful meaning.
I'm a boy. I'm what Pinocchio could only ever dream to be.
True. Your tattoo has meaning.
Yeah.
So our mother would not have.
Well, no, that's
Hunted
not
you
what
down.
we're talking about. We're not talking about what our mother would do. We're talking
That's
about
true.
this
With
mother.
this mother wouldn't track you down because it has meaning. Yours has meaning. Don't do that. Please stop tapping your
This
microphone.
microphone is a fish tank.
What?
Don't touch the fish tank.
Let's never record this late at night ever again.
I think it's a great idea. What happens if I take this thing off?
It's when you say word. Don't do that, Tucker. Please. This is an audio thing. Our audio is already kind of crummy. Oh, so many things.
That was for you.
Oh, that's
That was
nice.
for you, Jeff.
That's nice.
That was my.
I don't know. I feel like, what does the mom do, where she can just be like, "I'll just get a tribal arm tattoo, and that will have no repercussions
Well, it is a
in my
tribal
life."
band, so I think it must just be like a ring or something, like a ring around her, like or
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't think it's like full on sleeve. Though.
No,
I think it's just like
I do like the power behind this, of just like
I like the gusto this mom has.
exactly like. Can you imagine what she like? I can only imagine what she did to this kid when they were like in middle school, where it was just like, because if she's willing to permanently tattoo her body when her adult son just decides to get a tattoo, can you imagine what she did?
Yeah, she was like, "Do you think if all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you do it?" And he said, "Yes." So she took him out to the local bridge and threw him off, so that he could see what it felt like for real.
But it like feels like that, you know? Like it feels like
No, he did. I know this kid.
no, you
That
don't.
happened to him.
You are lying a
There's
lot
a couple
tonight.
kind of crazy things that happened to him in my memory.
You lie a
of this
lot
boy. His
tonight.
name was I forgot. This was a long time.
Okay.
He did get thrown off a bridge one time.
Okay.
There's one real bad example in which his mom said, "I brought you into this world. I can take you out." He responded with bet, and so they then got into a cage match.
Oh. She didn't just like pop him right
she
then
was
and there.
like, "If we're gonna do this, we're doing this for realsies."
I'm making
and-
some money off of it. That's how she got the disposable income for the tattoo.
Yeah, and Floyd and Mayweather were the MCs for it.
Oh.
They overcame all differences they've ever had in the past, and they sat down to MC the fight of mom and mom's son,
That's nice of them.
whose name I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Of course.
You would think with a story this crazy I would remember, or at least have a fake name, but I don't. I can't remember it. I can't think of any names.
You're doing wonderful.
I
I think this mom is crazy. And not in the kind of way that I think that it's crazy in
there
the
was
kind
one
of
weird
way.
example she had where she was like,
Can we please just discuss real things?
where she was like, if you think that, then I'm a submarine, and he was like, oh, well, I think that, mom. It just became a submarine in the kitchen, and it kind of messed their house up. She's very literal.
I feel like that
She
has.
can't speak in metaphor or sarcasm because everything she says comes true. She's like Pinocchio, except that when she tells a lie, it happens. Instead
I
for
believe
nose
that
growing.
is. I believe that is the plot of a Disney Channel original movie
Original movie. It's
called Pants
Pants
on
on
Fire.
Fire with Bradley Stephen Perry,
Is
the
that who it
boy
was?
from Mighty Men.
And
Bradley
Charlie. Good
Tyler
luck,
Bradley.
Charlie. Something like that. Yeah, that was a movie. That was one of the DComs of all time. Was it a DCom or was it like on
Why is
Disney
it on
XD?
Tubi
Uh, what is it? Is it
and not Disney Plus?
what's his name?
I can't find it.
Was it it was a Disney movie for sure,
Yeah,
right?
Bradley Stephen Perry.
Bradley Stephen. Yeah, this
It was
mom's
on Disney XD.
crazy.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
It had boy lab rat.
Which one? Bree.
Tyler. No, that's the guy's name. Leo.
Leo.
I like it if you right now search up Pants on Fire on Google, the first 7 are of this movie, and everything else is like clip art of someone's pants on fire, and then with like sprinkled in screenshots from the movie every once in a while.
Do you
I'm
want
glad
to
to see
know?
this movie made an impact.
Do you want to know what fun thing happened to me?
Your
I
pants
was
caught on fire one time because you told a big bad lie.
No. I was scrolling TikTok the other day, and one popped up where it was this guy who was like, "Hey, I know what you're thinking right now. This guy on my screen kind of looks like that one guy from that Disney show I used to like. That's because I am. My name is Tyler, and I played Leo on Lab Rats.
Yeah.
I am now a TikToker." And like went through like his whole story, and I was like, "This is interesting." Then I scrolled away, and I never saw him ever again.
Tyler Jackson Williams.
That show was actually pretty good. It was a pretty good one. That and Mighty Med and Phineas and Ferb were like the bangers on Disney XD. Because Disney XD was kind of just where shows went to die.
Disney XD?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Lab Rats was on Disney XD.
But I mean, shows that ended up going from Disney to Disney XD was just so that they could die a little slower. Like I know this happened to um, Gravity Falls for sure. I think Chad, our good friend Chad, told me that this happened with DuckTales 2, where it started losing viewership on main like channel Disney, and so they put it on Disney XD, and they would just flop.
Billy Unger was in Kicking It?
Yeah, I think the reason it would flop is it's like some cable packages had Disney Channel but not Disney XD, so just less people saw Disney
Yeah.
XD or something like that. Did you know that those channels are shutting down? No more Disney XD, Disney Junior, or Disney Channel.
Here's a fun fact for everyone in the world. If you look up Kicking It on Google, everyone has a fairly updated picture except Eddie. Eddie is still a boy. Boy.
Wait, I want to see Jack. What does Jack look like now?
That's the top left.
He looks the same.
Yeah, no, he looks the same. So does Krupnik. What's his name?
Ew.
Milton Krupnik. Nailed that one. Good job, me.
Malcolm Crumnick.
Who did Billy Unger play? Oh, perfect. No name underneath.
Which
Thanks,
one's Billy
dudes.
Unger? Oh, that's the
That's boy, smart boy.
smart boy from Lab Rats. I believe his name was. I remember he had like the evil, like the rage-induced alter ego named Spike. There's a few episodes about Spike. Do you remember?
In Lab
this?
Rats.
In Lab Rats.
Not in Kicking It.
No. There was, but that one redheaded kid that was in all of the Disney Channel shows for being the redheaded kid was in Kicking It for like an
Yeah.
episode.
He was in a couple, I think, because he was in the opposing gym.
No, not the
Yes.
redheaded kid.
Yes,
I think I know the one episode I remember was he was a spoiled brat who mom signed him up for karate classes at the dojo, Wasabi Dojo, and he was just being a rotten child.
I'm just too smart really quick. Keep talking.
We're getting really off track this episode. Cause like last time we went through quite a few Reddit stories and like talked about each of them and then like moved on. And in this one, it's been 40 minutes
Whoa.
and we've made it through 2.
Jason Earls was 27 when he filmed Hannah Montana.
Who's Jason Earls?
Rudy.
Oh, really?
He was 27.
He was in one of the Buddies movies. I believe he was in Super Buddies.
He was in Space Buddies and also Super Buddies.
He was in Space Buddies.
And
I
also
never saw
Super
that
Buddies.
one. Do you want to know
Oh, this show is so good.
what show?
Gamer's Guide to pretty much everything.
hit YouTuber, Minecraft YouTuber Stanby Longnose was in episode 1 of that.
That makes me sad.
Do you want to know? Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, do you want to know one of my new?
Matt Rife was in it.
I don't know who that is. Do you
That's
want to
the
know?
guy that we were talking about the other day that was on the podcast that I like. And
Oh.
they knew the guy that plays State Farm. They know the State Farm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes that friend of the channel, Chad, will make is at every sporting event or competition, not sporting event, competition, we'll be sitting there, and Chad will be like, "Oh my gosh, how will we win this dodgeball game? Oh my gosh, look at the doors, it's Airbud," and then just starts barking. And he does it at everything. We'll be like, we were sitting at like, we had at college, a whole weekend of like different competitions. And at almost all of them, we'd be sitting there and Chad would be like, "How are we going to win this lip syncing competition? Oh my gosh, look on stage, it's Airbud," at everything. It made me laugh every time.
Airbud's really bad at lip syncing, though. They tried to make a movie about it once, and it just, like, he's bad at it.
What do you think is like one Airbud sport movie you'd be interested to see?
Airbud curling.
I was going to say curling.
I'm going to change my answer then.
Oh.
Airbud badminton. Airbud, no, I changed my
badminton
mind.
would be funny.
Airbud skeleton.
Oh my gosh.
Or bobsleigh, and it's a team of Airbud. Or no, better yet,
No.
Airbud and 3 dudes.
No, here's what it would be. It would be.
It's Cool Runnings Airbud crossover, and it's Airbud and 3 Jamaicans.
Well, what I was thinking is
Airbud is also Jamaican.
Airbud. Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Airbud would be skeleton or luge because those are one person things.
Skeleton is also one person.
I know because those are one person things, and the buddies would do bobsled because there's multiple.
But also think about.
And they need all like 8 or whatever of them to get the thing to lean.
But also, Airbud and 3 Jamaicans, and it's Cool Runnings 2, Airbud style.
Cool Running 2, more air, more bud.
Cool Runnings, which is ironic because marijuana.
Oh, Cool Runnings 2 air, 2 bud.
2 buddies.
2 air, 2 buddies. Can I tell you that those movies have the dumbest naming convention I've ever seen? The Fast movies, it's like...
Oh, Fast. I thought you were talking about buddy movies. I was like, they're just buddies.
It's like Fast and Furious. That's episode 1. Or that's
episode
that's
1.
movie 1. Then it's Too Fast, Too Furious. That one's cool. Then it's Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Okay, a little bit off, but that's fine. Then they come back...
turbocharged.
Then they come back with The Fast and The Furious.
There was the turbocharged prelude for Too Fast, Too Furious.
Was there?
It's Fast and the Fast and the Furious. Too Fast, Too Furious. The turbocharged prelude for Too Fast, Too Furious.
Well,
The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Fast and Furious.
That's the one that gets
me. Same movie,
me.
but in Spanish. Fast 5. That's Fast 5 is different because it's just everyone lining up for high fives, and they try to break the world record.
Ooh, that's when they just started putting fast in front of numbers.
Fast and Furious 6.
Then
Furious 7.
Eventually, they dropped it and they just left letters. So it's Fate of the Furious is the last one. I remember
Fate
that.
of the Furious.
Then it's F9.
F9. Fast X.
Fast X.
Part 1.
Part 1.
The end of the road begins here.
Is that what it is?
It's like the tagline.
I think the second one is called Fast 9 Part 2, The End of the Road Begins Here, or something like that.
No, this is called Fast X.
But I think the second one is something.
F9.
No, the second one.
Too Fast, Too Furious?
No, this Part 2 for Fast X.
Oh, yeah, Fast X Part 2 is called Fast 9, The End of the Road Begins Here.
I said Fast X Part 2, The End of the Road Begins Here, and you're like, that's not how it works. That's what you sound like.
Oh, won't you make me please, Pooh Bear? This movie is at 55% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which one does?
Fast X.
Fast X? Our father saw it and said it was the loudest and craziest movie he's ever seen, and it didn't sound like he meant it in a good way. Do you have what?
Let's read it.
I was about to say, do you have another Reddit stories for us?
We're gonna end on the one.
Which one?
The revenge one. Because I don't want to do.
I think the revenge ones are fun.
Okay, this has the title Lord of the Rings again. Have fun going through your whole DVD collection. No, plug it in.
You start reading and I'll plug this in.
Okay. Just found this sub, and some of the posts made me chuckle, so here is my contribution. My ex
My ex at the time loves Lord of the Rings, owns the extended edition for all 3 films and limited edition versions of the novels. Because I know how much he loved them, I watched each extended version film 4 times with him over a period of a month. So 36 hours approximate of my life was wasted on Lord of the Rings. No hate, but that ex has ruined the films for me. My favorite movie is The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
I have not seen it. I
Oh,
relate very much, and the acting is superb. I wanted to watch this film again 2 months later, and he said no and refused because we've already seen it. And I saw red. We can't watch my favorite movie 2 times, but we can watch the whole trilogy of yours 4 times, and it's okay? It's not. So I hatched my plan. My ex also has an extensive DVD collection, around 70 to 80 movies.
wow.
So I swapped each film out with a different one. Took me all day to put all the cases back right. He was also a little OCD with his DVD organization, so then I moved around a few cases to mess with him. Guess who wasn't watching Lord of the Rings anytime soon? Smiley face.
That's actually epic.
That was very cool.
That's actually really funny.
If it happened to me, I would probably kill the person.
I think I'd be mad for a long time, but then when I really stopped to think about it, I was like, that's the funniest thing in the world.
No, but that means that this person doesn't care about you at all because they know that it's something you care about and have a deep connection toward, and they say no. I'm gonna mess it up, but I do think it's very good. I would not ever do this because I don't have the balls to do it, but it's something I wish I could do.
I can't think of a good way of segueing into this, so I'm just gonna say it. Something that made me laugh very much that Chad did. I'm in a very Chad mood today. I don't know why. I just think he's a really cool guy. One day we were sitting in our dorm and we were looking for lifting gloves because Chad's mom got him a pair of lifting gloves because she knew we were lifting. And so he got the lifting gloves and we couldn't find them one day. So we looked around our dorm for 15 minutes trying to find them. And then we were both like, whatever. Let's just go to the gym. It'll be fine. And so
They were at the gym. Serendipity.
I open the door and Chad goes, "Oh, there they are." And I turn around and go, "Oh, really?" And Chad responds with, "Stupid, gullible, idiot, stupid, gullible, dumb, dumb boy, stupid, gullible," for the entirety of us walking down a hallway. And he has never done anything like this before. So I expected when he said, "Oh, there they are," I expected to turn around and see them somewhere silly and obvious. And he then bullied
They
me
were on
for
my head the
listening
whole
to him.
time.
It really got me.
I'm so sorry that you got like that.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know why that came into my brain.
Anywho, Lord of the Rings.
They're
Those
all
are
right.
long movies.
I watched all of them in one sitting, and they're definitely very good movies. There are some people who really
I
like
think there
those
should have been an
movies.
in between where she goes, "Hey, we watched these movies 4 times," and then depending on how that interaction goes, then you mess
Then
with
you
his
decide.
DVDs, and you really kind of just screw that all up because that's very good. I think that has to stay.
Oh yeah,
But maybe just a little in between where you go, "Hey, but we did spend a
watch
very
yours
long
a
time watching
lot.
these movies."
But
And then
yeah,
if he's like, "But those," then you break up.
but
with him
those
and you
are
mess with his
art.
DVDs.
This is a movie, and you're like, "Shut up!" Birds of Being the Wallflower is awesome.
They both have Emma Watson in it, though.
She's not in Lord
She
of the
plays
Rings.
Hermione in Lord of the Rings. It's a very small cameo. She's in the Elves Tower.
Did you know? I saw a TikTok the other day where someone was standing at Hogwarts in Universal or whatever, and he looks at it and goes, "Wow, I can't believe we're at Buckingham Palace." And the friend goes, "You know Buckingham Palace is fake, right? It's important to me that you know this," which is just like the Parks and Rec scene.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you'd laugh more when I got to the actual punchline and not
No, I
just
got those
the
Parks and Rec.
"Wow, I can't believe
Now
we're at
you know what it
Buckingham
feels like
Palace."
when you try to make a joke and your partner on the couch
I know
decides you're
all
not
the
going to
time.
make the jokes
There's
with
so
you.
many times I'll be like, "Look at this thing," and you look at it like this. Audio listeners, what you heard, that's what it looks like.
But I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm trying to make jokes off the things we're talking about, and you're like, "That's dumb," and then you just keep talking. That's not how this works.
I laughed at the first
No,
one.
make jokes.
I laughed at the first one, and then you made 7
And then
more.
you didn't even try to make your own. You just
No,
kept
because I
mind-rolling.
really wanted to talk about the movie because it was really good.
It was really good, except for that one part where Spider Knight and the Spider Cowboy guy, they get into a joust off.
That was actually really funny.
They get into
I'm not gonna say what it is. But
they get
there's a
into
part
a-
with the spider guy.
Well,
which
I'm
I thought was
talking
very
about
funny.
it. they get into a joust off, which is what it's called. But like, it's not even fair because like he has a gun. He's a cowboy. But what Cowboy Spider-Man didn't know at the time, that he knows now.
Medieval also had a gun.
No, but he doesn't have a gun. But he does have armor. He's big, dumb, stupid, and so like the gun doesn't do anything. It just like bounces off the armor, and so it does indeed bounce off the armor, and then he shoots his own horse in the leg, and his horse falls over, and then he gets jousted.
I think one of the funniest jokes in that, and this isn't really a spoiler, so I'm going to say it, is when he meets the Old West Spider-Man. He's on a horse that has a mask. It's one that's in one of the trailers and everybody was talking about. And Miles says, "Why is that horse wearing a mask?" And he responds with, "To conceal its identity." This isn't even my joke, and you're not going to laugh. That's
I didn't laugh at it
funny
last
line.
night.
It's a funny line.
It is funny, but it's not one of the best jokes in that movie.
It's one that made me laugh.
No.
Sorry, let me rewind. A joke that made me laugh in the movie last night. Sure, it wasn't the best joke. The best was the ATM joke. That one was really good. Okay, let's get off this before I start talking more and I spoil it for someone, because a lot of my friends really want to see it, and I
You need to
hate
stop.
spoils.
I'm kind of looking at time, but I know we're cutting like 3 minutes out of the beginning where we talked about nonsense.
I'm not cutting a lot out of the
You're
beginning.
cutting the stuff out that we have to cut out, though.
Yeah,
But you're keeping my jokes in. They're very good. They're very good jokes.
I'm cutting out one thing. That's it.
We're gonna talk about it after.
Yeah. This is how the brother side lives.
Maybe there's a new song before this episode. At this point, it's hard to say.
At this point, it's hard to say. We will talk about it for sure in the next episode if it happens. I really think it will, and I'm very excited
If we get
about
back
it.
from our friend in time.
Yeah, our friend. I'd love that it's our friend.
Did I
He's
say our friend? I thought
Yeah,
I
you
my
said our friend.
Well, he's my friend.
He is your
You
friend,
just
and
know
that's what I was
him.
about to say. But I felt like it would be mean if I was like, "He's your friend," but he's really cool. We won't name drop him until he gives us things,
Yeah, I'm not
and
gonna.
then
I'm
we'll
not
talk about
promoting
it.
my buddy until he gives me his services for free.
But yeah, this has been how the brother side lives. Sorry that this episode was weird and all over the place. It's 11:30 at night, and I'm tired. I know I'm
gonna go
tired.
straight to bed.
I have
and
to
then I'm gonna
drive
sleep.
30 minutes to the house I'm dog sitting at.
Okay, have a great time doing that. Okay, everyone.
All right. Good night. Let the battle begin.
Let the battle